Yeah, thanks, Bavina. I think greetings to everyone. Congratulations first to Kaizer Chiefs. I think they were sharper than us. They look sharper than us. It's a sad loss because there was nothing really in the game that we didn't know from an approach perspective. We knew exactly that Chiefs would try to play through the center to create the block in the center with Mart, Ntetwa, Shaba, and probably Chupre dropping because Duba hardly comes inside, he'll stay on the line. And we struggled to deal with the three center backs with Eva in terms of the pressing. So from a defensive perspective first, I felt that we wanted to apply medium pressure, so between the two arcs, but we struggled with that. We struggled with mobility in the midfield. They always outnumbered us in the center in that 4 versus 3. I think our wingers stayed too wide, especially Stolle on the right-hand side. But in the final third, it was not so easy for them to penetrate in the first half. Yes, they were there a lot because they went past the first line, they went past the midfield. But I felt that in the final third, they didn't really have clear-cut chances, you know. And if you look at the goal, maybe I stand to be corrected. But if I look at the goal, I think it was the first clear shot on target. Other than that, half chance, the Reeves header that deflects and Stanley tips over. I think he had 2 that is tipped over the bar. So you concede that. In possession, we were poor. I think it was the worst I've seen of us this season. The build-up from the back didn't come out the way we wanted. We wanted 3 centre-backs also, with Cien coming inside. AJ and Spare were just not connecting, and Aya was not. So our movements were wrong completely, and we couldn't get out. And then we ended up being pressed in our build-up zone, or playing long and not winning that ball. So first half was really diabolic for us. Going in at 1-0, we felt that we needed to chase the game a little bit more aggressively, and we changed to play a 3-5-2, which I thought was a good approach when you look at the second half. But our only gripe in the second half was that we felt that with Eva and Elmo up front, we didn't really feed them enough. We took a bit long to get the ball forward. We had some half chances from set pieces, half chances from breaks, but not really. I think the one where Vuma makes a save from Snowcloud's shot, probably the clearest. But other than that, yeah, I don't think we did enough to win the game. And I don't know whether I'll say the players looked off, and tactically we just did not apply ourselves to the way that we had planned for this game. So congratulations to Chiefs, and yeah, we have to, it's that time of the year, the January window. So we have to reflect at everything and review everything, everybody's performance, and see how we move forward. But I think 14 points at this time, first game of the 3rd cycle of 5. We open it with a loss, but we are in a respectable position, at least on the log.
Thank you very much, Coach. We'll go straight into the questions. Members of the media, let's take it up. I won't interrupt the floor. I will just point at you to ask a question. Let's go.
Coach Kopo, any reason you took off Makajolo in the early stages of the first half? Yeah, Baraka, and then also, how disappointed were you? I mean, for the goal being considered, I mean, everyone is just falling off like being domed, you know, and then you blasted the near post. Disappointed with the way you considered the goal, or just say individual friends for young men because you're buzzing to
the young man is talented. We can't take that away from him, you know. It's difficult to swallow it because we knew that from that side, a right footer is always going to cut in. So whether it's Modi, Shaba, or Duba, it was always going to be that movement. So I think Cien Ndlovu was playing as a right back. I think on the first action of allowing him to come inside, that's what. And then once he comes inside and is close to the box, I think everybody is scared of committing a penalty, committing a foul, and all that. So, you know, one instance where we allow it, and the boy does well. You know, also a little bit disappointing that we conceded on the first post. You know, but maybe Stanley is anticipating a curl to the other side. So with Majogoro, we actually took out Konqobe. Baraka came in as a substitute. But I think I said it in the beginning that we felt that he was not applying himself in the game tactically the way that we wanted. He hardly touched the ball. He was not really in the right spaces when we were in position. And he struggled to help us press in terms of Teto and Mart. So that was the reason. It's not a nice thing to do, but for us to try and grab the game, we had to do it. And I felt when Baraka came in, there was a little bit more stability in the midfield.
Yes, as P. Gamer from Radio Quiz. Coach, what are the positive data are you taking on going forward from this game?
It's very few. There's hardly, well, maybe the second half performance, maybe a little bit more stable in the second half at centre back. The fight in the second half, the delivery of the free kicks from Sergio was much better than what we did in the first half. First half they were all poor. Yeah, that's about it. But I don't think we played the way we want Chippa to play, and I don't think we had the same aggression, work ethic, and the flow of the team. So very few positives, but very disappointing performance, I must say.
Good evening, Coach. Smith from Independent Media. Coach, of course, coming into this game, Chiefs were on a bit of not a good run. They've had good games, but they've also had bad games this season. Does that make it slightly more difficult for you when you plan for the sort of unpredictability in what they?
No, not really. I think, something maybe I didn't speak about today. The challenges that we had coming into this game was more from a preparation perspective on our side. We had some challenges in PE. The Nelson Mandela Stadium was closed, so we didn't really have our proper training field. So for 3 days, we didn't really have a proper Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that's a challenge. From the game perspective, from a tactical perspective, Chiefs did everything we expected. They had de Klerk coming in to make 3 centre backs, which is what they've been doing in the last couple of games. Whenever de Klerk plays, he doesn't go down up the line. So you'll have de Klerk, Dotley, and Miguel as the 3 centre backs. Then you have Frostler pushing, but Duba will keep the line. So if you looked at the Polokwane game, they had Blom playing right back, and he was doing the same thing. Blom was inverting into midfield. Frostler was doing the same. Then you've got Martin and Tetwa that stay in front of the centre backs. You've got Shaba, and when they had Sereno, you have Sereno creating the next 10. You have Dupree, you have Ranga. So from a planning perspective, Chiefs did exactly what we expect. In the pre-match interview, I said, we watched Chiefs against Test Galaxy. We watched Chiefs against Polokwane City. As much as they lost, we felt that they were very unlucky in certain moments. Against Polokwane City, Botswana hit the crossbar. They played half ground dominantly in those games. They were struggling in the final third. So Chiefs have not been playing badly. They've been struggling to score goals. They've been caught in their build-up. Even today, we caught them. Because they're trying to play a certain way. The coach is trying to instill a certain way of play. So everybody sets traps. But there is nothing that happened today that we did not expect tactically. It's just us, we did not apply ourselves the way we had planned.
Hi Coach, Snechamba from Fapos. Ivanga, one of your main players or key players, I think as far as I know, his contract comes to an end in June. Have you guys initiated something so you'd want to keep him for the next season?
We would want to keep him for next season?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we haven't gone that far yet. Eva has done well for us, and I think the idea would obviously be to try and keep him. He's having a dry season at the moment. He's a bit frustrated. He's trying things too hard. We've been trying to get him to relax. But a player like Eva, as much as he's not scoring, he's helped Kwahiba a lot because Eva attracts attention. Eva gives us a reference point when we play depth. Eva is physically strong. Eva gives us a physical and aerial presence. So he's done well for the team, bar him scoring. But yeah, we haven't really sat down to discuss who's going. There's a lot of contracts ending in June, not only him. But I think we've just been trying to find stability. We have a lot of young players that we really want to introduce in this second, especially next year, to start playing more. But yeah, from what he's done so far, I don't think there's alarm bells for him to be unless somebody comes and takes him or buys him. And yeah, but from that now.
Coach AK Andile here from SNC. Had luck on the result. Maybe just when you talk about the transfer window next month, is there a critical area that you'd like to post, especially when you talk about experience? Because when you introduce youngsters, you also want a bit of experience as well, consolidate. Also on the points as well.
Yeah, I think there's maybe not a lot of areas, a few areas we'd like to reinforce. One is central midfield. We feel that we lack a little bit of mobility in central midfield, a bit of legs. Central midfielders that have got capacity, running capacity, physical capacity. You know, Andile is 34. He'll give you the technical, but not really so much in the defensive. Konqobe, not that type of player. And so you only got Majogoro, Baraka, but technically struggles in the build-up. So we feel, and we had Roland Sano that we signed from Cape Town City, but he came with an injury and had an operation. He's out for 7 months. So we would like to reinforce in central midfield. At centre back, we feel we're okay. And obviously up front, we're not scoring enough goals. So we would like maybe a striker. If we can have a striker, if somebody has got attacking players that can score goals. And then other than that, we have enough in terms of back up in the youth. You know, we've got 2 right backs, we've got 4 centre backs, we've got 3 left backs. So we have enough in other positions. I think central midfield and up front are areas of concern that we need to really reinforce going into the new year.
Ladies and gentlemen, it seems as if we can go the last 2.
Yeah, Coach, maybe from a distance, I saw a bit of frustration from your side. And I think at that time, maybe you felt Kwaiba was not impacting the game positively. I think there were moments where he would get into good positions, but maybe there would be no end product. I also watched in the previous game against Cape Town City. He had some good scoring positions, but maybe there was nothing at the end. And now I'm taking it back. Ever since he's been at Bafana, I've not really seen the Kwaiba that we had before. So maybe is it a case of he needs to still have that fire burning inside him?
No, I think he has the fire burning inside him. Against Magesi, he scored 2 goals, you know, which is after that Bafana call-up. The frustration today was that, and it was not only him, it was Per, it was Eva, was that in moments in the first half, when we did go over the halfway line and we were entering the last third, we turned around and we went back. So that was the frustration, that you are in the attacking third, go into the box, try and get a penalty. So we just did not show the aggression in the final third. And that was the frustration. He showed good work, but when we don't play out of the back and play through the lines, you're not going to see Kwaiba, because he's not a type of player to play off the second ball or to be running a lot. And Chiefs also, Kwaiba, if you look at Kwaiba's goals, a lot of them have a run behind the defense, a third man run behind the defense. With 3 centre backs, Chiefs minimized that space, so it was difficult to make that run. But since he's been in Bafana, yeah, players will go to Bafana and react differently when they come back. We had that discussion with him. But after, you know, maybe 1-2 weeks he struggled a bit. But after that, he's picked up. But in some games, we just have not been playing well. So it's not just a Kwaiba thing. I feel as a team, we've just not been playing well. Against Cape Town City, I felt he was unlucky because he had the opportunities in the box. Today, he didn't have the opportunities, except for the one that Fuma makes a save in the second half.
Closing one, David.
Coach, what has been the issue with Teto, Metros, and Sangare? Why haven't been featured? The Sangare, yes. The 25-year-old striker. Okay, maybe let's go to this 2.
You've signed a striker.
Metros and Teto, yeah. Why didn't
Teto played against Cape Town City, came on as a sub. Teto is young. And sometimes when you have a lot of these youngsters, you're going to have an inconsistency. So we felt that his performance against Cape Town City was not at the standard that we expect. You know, he played well, if you remember, against TS Galaxy when we played at home. But since then, his performances have been up and down. And yes, also we've been changing our attackers a lot, so maybe it does not give them a rhythm. As Zola Matrose went to Paris, didn't play the entire season. He had an ankle injury. When we signed Azola Matrose, he couldn't play for the first. He couldn't do pre-season with us because he was still in rehab. We took him to the Pirates game for a more psychological thing than his availability to play. He's had a fear issue because of that ankle injury. So he's been scared to get into tackles, but we've been talking to him every week. This past week, he's trained really well. We really wanted to bring him into this game because he trained very well this past week. But unfortunately, it was a little bit too late in terms of rhythm and all that. He hasn't played much. But we've had a talk with him that he's ready. We feel that he's ready to play. So from the first game next season, Azola will feature. And I think he's going to offer us a lot in terms of speed, his ability to score goals, his ability to dribble. So there's nothing sinister. Azola is just, he needed to gain back his confidence after that injury. And it's taken him longer than we expected. He healed, but mentally and emotionally, he was not ready to get onto the pitch still.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and Coach.